I would describe it as two enemies going to battle, accounts payable, accounts receivable. You could also describe it as two innocent victims that have just been fed misinformation by their teammates. After you set aside the emotion and frustration of feeling like, hey, someone's not paying me, or hey, these guys are just calling me and bothering me to get paid. I think it's really just, for the most part, two pretty decent folks that are just trying to do a good job. And oftentimes it's just because we're not operating on the same page. How do you get two different companies on the same page when it comes to the payment ecosystem? And there's a lot that impacts that ecosystem.
It's not just getting the two different companies. You have to start before that. You have to get your company on the same page when it comes to payment terms, whether it's accounts payable or accounts receivable. Just getting your company on the same page is a task in and of itself to create that level of consistency.
Give us a scenario that you've actually fought through with your own company that gives our audience context.
Yeah, I think there's a couple that come to my mind. Let's go within the company itself. There's the stereotypical scenario where change order management, change order situation comes up, and field staff make a decision. A client makes a request, and we don't really have time to stop and convey the information all the way through to the payable department. You get basically an invoice, and it's not in line with the contract amount. And so it could look like an overpayment. There's another scenario where you get a superintendent kind of walking on to the job, and the buyout hasn't been completely done. So I go try to do my best to round up the last couple different trades. Maybe it's just the final cleaning services, maybe it's a dumpster service, maybe it's whatever it is, it's a new vendor to the company. I mean, the simple fact that it's like in that vendor's mind, that superintendent is everything. They're the accounts payable, they're the project manager, they're the boots on the ground. And so for some reason, the vendor doesn't even actually find out where to submit the invoices in the first place. And so 90, 120 days go by. And then finally someone figures out I should have called the main office, or hey, this general contractor has a very generic accounting at generalcontractor.com email address to submit invoices. And then you're just walking into a scenario where it was an unnecessary gap in the first place in communication, but it just happens a lot. Simple, basic coordination issues